Absolutely, thank you. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. This inshallah will be a very interactive session. You guys can ask questions. Just not too many. We can leave the big questions to the end. We only have 2 hours. So you can stop me at any time. If there is a concept that you're not familiar with or a definition, then I could just quickly go through it. The first thing we usually talk about during a PDC, which is a Permaculture Design Certificate, which is a 2-week intensive permaculture course, is what evidence is there that times are changing. Because if things were the same, permaculture would probably be irrelevant. And only by understanding how things are changing can we really understand the pertinence. Why permaculture now? Why we desperately need this philosophy and this design and ethics. So I'm going to ask you a question then. What are some of the crises that we're facing as humans? What are some of the problems that we have?
The water problem we're facing.
Water contamination, water shortage, the ozone layer, carbon emissions. What else?
Global warming could a lot of things.
Climate change, global warming, melting of the ice caps,
Deterioration of urban environments,
deterioration of landscapes,
extinct animals, losing
species extensions. What else? There's so many. Poverty.
Poverty is food, so feed people.
Yes, famines. Scarcity of resources, resource depletion. What else?
There seems to be a lot. Are there any other things you didn't know about?
Yes.
Economy, some countries, like for example in Morocco, if we can like improve agriculture, we can improve our economy, then we more economy.
Definitely. So let's just quickly go through some of them. One of the most important ones is erosion. And what erosion really means is loss of topsoil. Topsoil, which is considered of the humus molecule, which is the most complex organic molecule in the world. There's only about a 50 centimeter layer of topsoil on Earth. Some places have 10 centimeters, some places have 80, some places have absolutely no topsoil. Topsoil holds the nutrients, and 80% of the biomass in the world actually lives in the soil. Earthworms, for example, if you take all the earthworms in the world, their weight is equal to the weight of all other animals combined. So that shows you the importance of the microorganism and the soil life, or what is called the soil food web. Now, erosion has a lot of reasons. There is water running out, speeding up and just taking all the topsoil, taking it to the rivers. There is nutrients just draining to aquifers, and we're just losing nutrients that way. Usually they ask what the #1 export of a particular country is, and oftentimes topsoil is the #1 export. That's the thing that we lose most. That's the thing that we export more. Most of it just gets lost in oceans and rivers. So that's a big deal and really, really relevant to our topic. Deforestation, we're losing, half the Amazon has already been lost, and you could just figure out what that means. Pollution, species extinctions, collapse of ecosystems, seeds. Seeds are very relevant. GMO seeds, we're losing what is called seed sovereignty, where the local species of a particular plant or vegetable are being lost. We used to be in places where they grew 100 types of tomatoes. Those tomatoes have adapted to that particular environment, and they can better fight disease and climate changes in that particular area. Now, if we import other seeds from different countries, we grow them there, and we use a lot of pesticide for them to survive, then we're losing the native species. We're losing biodiversity. There used to be hundreds of kinds of tomatoes, potatoes, beans grown in different countries. Now, in a country like this, for example, there are probably only 5 kinds of tomatoes. So seed sovereignty is really a big issue. I mean, there's so much information here. I mean, you could take a whole day just talking about one particular topic, but I'm just going to browse through them. Climate change is a big one, and we're going to talk about that later. Lack of sustainable energies. Peak oil. Peak oil is a really important topic that we're going to cover in some detail. Drinking water, water storage. We're not storing a lot of water. Just the other day there were floods in Saudi Arabia. These are desert places where barely anything is growing, yet there's so much water. If there was better use for that water, if there was storage through ditches or dams or reservoirs, if it was intelligent design, then we could utilize that water to regreen those deserts. But as you see, it's just a flood that creates destruction and does not benefit the particular locality at all. Food shortages, food quality has severely decreased. They say that you can eat an apple, but it has the same nutrients. An old apple, for example, one that 50 years ago had the same amount of nutrients as eating 10 modern apples. So the food that we're eating does not have as much nutrients, actually 10 times less nutrients. Increasing population, possible wars. Most of these are outside kind of crises. There's particular human crises that we're suffering from, and that is our education systems, health, stress, and just so many more. The threat of an economic financial collapse, also a big one. Now this is a 10,000 year, or actually 12,000 year graph of population growth. And you see that there's just an explosion, just exponential. A lot of things happen in the last 200 years that has just never happened before. Rising sea levels, another exponential graph. Average global temperatures. I'm going to stop here for a while. Since pre-industrial times until now, the temperature change has been, there's consensus that it's 0.8%. A lot of us, just do not understand that figure. It's just a small difference of almost 1 degree. But there's many points to make here. The actual effects are actually deferred. The actual temperatures today are a result of what happened 50 years ago. What we're witnessing today is just a consequence of what happened 50 years ago. And what we're doing today, we're not going to feel it until 50 years from now. So that's a very important thing to keep in mind. The projections, in 2009, a bunch of scientists in England just got together and basically had to figure out what temperature constitutes actual danger. Like, how much does average temperatures have to reach before there's catastrophe, there's the beginning of big problems. And really, they reached consensus that it's around 2 degrees. 2 degrees is when we really start taking things seriously. But in reality, even if we stopped our way of life, this consumption, this industrial, even if we stopped everything today, we're still going to reach 3%, 3 degrees. It's